who else is so ready for spring? Not just the weather, but like the makeup. I love myself some spring makeup. I thought today we could sit down. I have quite a few new products, some that are just new to me, but things that I haven't gotten to try yet, and I wanted to give them all a shot for you guys. I have to say, I really like this look. I just wanted something that's like light and bright, and that to me is what spring makeup is all about. So if you guys would like to see this look, we're gonna hop into this in just a moment. Now, if we haven't met before, my name is Kelly and I'm a professional hair and makeup artist, and here on my channel I strive to keep beauty real, real honest, real relatable, and real fun. So if that sounds like something you'd enjoy, don't forget to click subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos. Now, why don't we spring into the spring look? I'm also gonna go in with a lightweight moisturizer just because it's been a little bit since I did my skincare. Let's go through with the Watermelon Glow Pink Juice, if I can get this cap open. Whew, okay, there we go. So this is just gonna add a little bit of hydration. It's not like a, I wouldn't necessarily just use this as my moisturizer, but if you have oily skin, this might be a good option because it is almost more like a gel serum type situation. Or if it's been a while and you just need a refresh or you want a little topper, I really like this. I'm gonna let that sink in for a minute, but what I'm gonna end up topping over this is the Pores No More Luminizing Primer from Dr. Brandt. I really like this product. It is, you know, a little bit pore filling, a little bit blurring. It's almost just like a lightweight filter, if that makes sense. Like I could see totally just wearing this on no makeup days if you just want your skin to look a little bit better. So now that the skin has absorbed that watermelon glow, let's go ahead and pop a little bit of this on. So this to me is a bit creamier. Like I think a lot of times when people think of like pore filling, they think of that like kind of silicone-y feel. And this is definitely creamier than that, but it does give a nice little radiance. If you guys can see, it just has a nice like glow that isn't too glowy. Like this is not gonna be like putting the Auric Glow Lust all over your face. This just gives that like freshly hydrated look. I really like this product. It has been a while since I pulled this one out. I saw it in my drawer this morning and I was like, yes, that's gonna give me springy skin. I mean, not like boing boing springy, but like the feel of spring. All right, I am very excited to try this product. This is the Clinique Even Better Refresh Hydrating and Repairing Makeup. I am hoping that I got it in a good shade. I got this as a free diamond reward from Ulta, and I went in and, you know, right now, especially since you can't use testers or anything, it was sort of like a shot in the dark. So if this isn't right, I can obviously take it back and exchange it for something else. I think we're gonna be okay. I was like, okay, don't get something super, super light. Hopefully you're gonna be outside and get a little bit of color in the upcoming months. I don't know, we'll see. I'm gonna go through, of course, just use my BK 101 brush. You guys, if you haven't gotten this brush and you're looking for a good foundation brush, do not sleep on this one. It is so good, so soft. The BK brushes are just so, so nice. All right, moment of truth. By the way, if you think that you are a skin tone close to me, this is WN38, which is the shade Stone. Oh, I think we did a good job. I think we did a good job. It might be a pinch warm, but I have a feeling come summertime that will actually work just because I feel like my warmer undertones come out a little bit more. So what this says is it has full coverage and a natural finish. Weightless hydrating coverage perfects without settling into lines and wrinkles. Skin looks smooth, plump, refreshed, and more youthful. And it says that it's long wearing. So that sounds good. Just from that little swatch that I did, I don't necessarily think that I agree with the full coverage claims, but we'll see. Maybe it's different as I like get in here and work it in with a brush. But I will say right now with these breakouts that I'm having, full coverage could almost be used. I don't love a full coverage look, but you guys better believe that I'm gonna be adding a little bit more to these areas of my face. Yeah, I would say that this is a little bit darker than I am right now, but we can definitely make this work. So I used a new cleanser that I got recently last night, and I am struggling with it so much. It just doesn't like, and I used a makeup remover and I still don't feel like I got all of my eye makeup off. So I can see as I'm like blending in my foundation here, I've got like mascara smudges. So I'm gonna probably need to clean that up. Although I'm probably just covering right over my mascara smudges. We'll just go with that today. We don't have a lot. We don't have a lot going on. I've got some errands to run, but nothing that's like super pressing and I need to have like super flawless face for. All right, I really enjoy a tube like packaging, but the only problem is like there's no way to really necessarily measure how much I use. Like I can't say, oh, I used 1 pump. It's like, oh, I used a squirt, but like I don't really know how much. You guys can see here, I don't necessarily think that this is full coverage. I can see my breakouts still quite a bit, which is totally fine. I don't really want full coverage. I would normally never use that. I think right now I just want a little bit more coverage over my breakouts. And this I think looks really, really nice. Now to me, this does remind me of the finish that is in the S-Clean Clean Glowing Skin. I'm gonna look up the price of this and I will pop it up here so that you guys can see the price comparison between these two, because I do feel like they are very, very similar. So if you want to save some money, I bet that the Sephora one is a little bit less expensive just because it's the Sephora brand. If you're one who loves some Clinique, you could of course go that way. These are pretty similar shades. I think that this one is actually just a tinge lighter and a little bit more on the neutral side, but I think this looks really nice. Let's go ahead and try to build this up a little bit just over my breakouts. I think I'm just gonna try to like blend these in with my finger and just more in like a stippling motion just to try to, you know, not buff that coverage out too much. All right, I feel like we got a little bit better there. I still would not say that this is a full coverage foundation by any means. If I can't build up over like medium pigmentation and get a full coverage, I wouldn't say that this is full coverage. I think it's a very nice medium coverage, but that is as far as I would go. I do love the finish of this though. Like this looks very radiant, very healthy. So I love the finish of this. I'm just gonna add a tiny little bit of concealer. I'm going through with the dose of colors. Meet Your Hue in 12, which is light medium. I hope this isn't like too dark. I think we're okay. I'm just trying to get a little bit of coverage, but nothing crazy. So I'm just gonna blend that in and we will move on to the rest of our face. All right, I just noticed I had this like dark fleck of something here and I keep rubbing and rubbing and rubbing and it's not coming off, but now I've given myself a nice little red patch. That's awesome. So as far as the skin goes, I am really liking the look of this, you guys. I am very happy. I could totally see being able to use this spring into the summer. It just has that very nice fresh look. So I do have some errands to run and I will have to be putting on a mask, so I'm going to set all of this lightly. I am going to use my RCMA because this is part of Project Pan 2021. If you want to see the other products that are in my list, I will link that video up above so that you guys can check that out, but this is one of them. So I'm going to throw this on, and I do like also that this is just a really like lightweight basic setting powder, so this will still give us a very good idea on, you know, the foundation, how it wears. I don't want to use too much of this. I do think that spring makeup is really just about like that, like fresh-faced, you know, celebrating a little color, but also just that, I don't know, more like natural radiant vibe. Especially here as someone who lives in Wisconsin, like we do start to get humidity come summertime. So I like to like keep that glow, like that still like radiant skin look going into the spring, because once summer is here, I try not to use anything too crazy glowy because by the middle of the day, like it could just like slide off your face just with the humidity. All right, so you can see that the powder did like, it just bumped back the shine a little bit, but I still feel like it's like that very healthy looking skin. I am very happy with this. Thank you, Ulta, for that freebie. So now we're gonna go through with this pretty little package. This is the Lys bronzer. I've got the No Limits matte bronzer in the shade Harmony. Now I just used this for the first time last night in my live, trying out Lys and then also using some new to me Danessa Myricks products. Just so happy that both these brands are at Sephora now. I will go ahead and link that up above so that you can check that out as well. If you want to see all of the products, I did a couple fun eye looks and we got to try out the bronzers, a couple blushes. I am definitely thinking I'd like to pick up the Lys foundation. Maybe I will have done that in the Sephora VIB sale. We shall see. but I am definitely excited to see more from this brand. So I did pick up a couple shades of the bronzer. This is the second from the lightest. I just thought we'd get a little extra warmth and glow to our skin today. I don't want to like full on like super bronzy bronze look. I still think, like, again, for me in the springtime, it's really like, it's nice to have a little color, but I like to get most of my spring color from my blushes, and I do have a couple blushes that I want to throw on today. So I'm going to let most of the color come through on my face from that blush, but I did want to get just a little bit more dimension and back to the face. So I'm really liking this bronzer so far. Like, for a powder bronzer, it really does sit really nice on the skin. It is a very true matte though. There is like, I wouldn't even say it's like a satin finish. It is definitely that like matte skin look. So I think that if you have normal to oily skin, this is going to be great. If you are incredibly dry, I don't know if you will love this, but I think even like normal to dry would be fine with this. I just feel like if you have too dry of skin, that it might be just less of the radiance that you're going to be looking for, if that makes sense. So we will now go through with our blushes. So if you guys saw, I recently did do a blush declutter, and there were a few products that I was like sort of on the fence about whether or not I should keep them or not. And the best way to be able to decide that is to use them a few times, right? So first I'm going to go through with this MAC Mineralized Blush. This is Lured to Love. You guys can see this is quite light. It's lighter than the second blush that we're going to go through, but I want to see how this looks on my like spring, still somewhat pale skin. So this is, we're going to go through with the Luxy Tapered highlighting brush. I find that I use this brush a lot for blush brush. Yes, I find that I use this a lot as a blush brush. So I just wasn't sure, like, because when I swatched it on my arm in that declutter video, it was like, I could barely see it, but ooh, this is pretty though. I definitely won't be able to use this come summer though, I don't think, if I do get a little bit more color to my skin, but I do like these MAC Mineralized blushes. I don't even, honestly, I don't remember buying this, but that color did pack on pretty decently. It's got like a nice radiance to it. It's very pretty. I definitely, come like May, I probably won't be able to wear this anymore if I've gotten any time outside, but this is very pretty. I don't know if they make this color anymore, but this is Lured to Love, so glad to be able to put that one on today to see if we want to keep it. Now, we're going to layer over that this Becca Luminous blush in Snapdragon. So this is going to give us a bit more pop, obviously. I love this. I love the Becca blushes. This one isn't in my maybe pile at all because I don't like the Becca formula. I even really like this color. It's just at some point you're like, okay, how many blushes do I really need? And so this was the one that it was like, I have some similar shades. And so I was like, well, I don't know. I'll have to see. Let's go ahead and try it out a few times. Maybe I need to be like passing this one on to a friend. The only thing is, like, right now with these breakouts, I probably shouldn't have put this as low on my cheeks just because I find that it is impossible for me to blend over breakouts. Like, I think the skin around the breakout just gets so dry that it doesn't want to pick up any color. And so then I'm like left with this like patch that doesn't take anything on. It's kind of annoying. So I'm not usually a like apples of the cheek kind of blush wearer, just because especially right now I have a little more natural filler in my face, thanks to things like ice cream and popcorn and those things that I've been splurging on. I don't need like a whiter face, but I do think that like cherub cheek look is just the epitome of springtime. But we are just gonna go with this. We're just gonna have our chipmunk cheeks and live like a spring cherub. All right, I am going to actually take a little bit of this Snapdragon on a little like eyeshadow brush and try to just build that over that breakout area. Like I said, I feel like this area, because the skin gets a little more dry, just trying to tap a little bit in those areas to sort of like blend everything. So I'm pretty happy with that. All right, I think what I'm gonna do now is go ahead and go off camera, apply my brows, and then we will move into our eye look. All right, the brows are on. They are big, they're big. I went through with my Etude House Tint My 4-Tip Brow. If you guys saw, I used this in my K-Beauty haul. I'm I am just trying to use this up. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I like the color. In some ways, it's very, very easy to use. In some ways, it's really not. I wish that the slant on this was like angled, because all 4 of these are at the same spot. So if you aren't careful, you can just look like you like ran a rake through your eyebrows. So I always have to like do that way and then tilt it to the side to like get single hair strokes. I of course went through afterwards with my 24-hour brow setter just for something really quick and easy. You guys know I like the Anastasia Brow Freeze, but that one I feel like takes a little bit more time to use, and I just wanted quick, simple. We're going for like light spring, right? Now let's hop into this eye look. I am so excited to be using this. You guys, I haven't even taken off the plastic yet. So this was given to me by a very sweet woman here on YouTube. Kendi Beauty sent this over to me, and we just happened to be talking. She did some like really good videos on, I think she had all of these Sweet Shop palettes, and I was talking about like, oh, I have FOMO over that palette. I missed it the first time, and in the restock, I decided not to get it, and I don't know why I was sleeping on this. I haven't tried BH Cosmetics since their like Galaxy, the like the baked mineral ones. It's been a hot minute, and she just messaged me on Instagram. She's like, hey, like, let me send you that palette, and I was like, what? Like, oh, like how much? And she's like, no, I just want to send it to you, and I was like, okay, so thank you, Kendi, so much. I was so excited to get this, and I was just waiting for a moment to really be able to take the time to do something fun with this, appreciate it. So we're gonna go in and just do something light and fun. Hey, it's next day, Kelly, back to do the eye clip for you guys. So I'm gonna do everything the same as I did. I really only used 3 shades in this palette. The one thing that I will say is when I apply this top shade Sweet Life to my lid, I'm going to apply a glitter glue today. I did personally find that I had quite a bit of sparkle fallout by the end of the day, but honestly that could have been because I was rubbing my eyes once I got home. So by the time I noticed it, it could have been me, it could have been the shadow, but just to ensure that I don't have that happen, I'm going to apply a glitter glue. Other than that, I'm gonna do everything the same.
I want to be daring, baby, dance the night away. I let my head down if I want. Don't you just get tired chasing fame and being pretty all the time? Doesn't sound like fun. You can do better. Let me show you what a good time looks like. You can do better, so much better. I don't fit into your box. Beauty queens without no flaws. You can do better. I dare you to be wilder. I don't fit into your box. Beauty queens without no flaws. You can do better. I dare you to be wilder. I want to be silly, baby, dance the night away. I'll kick my shoes off if I want. Let yourself be free, and maybe you will find that there is more to life than being pretty. Honey, let's just face it. You can do better. Let me show you what a good time looks like.
Okay, lovelies, this was pretty much it. I will say I do feel like I got a little bit of a different finish by putting down that glitter glue. That obviously makes sense. That's what happens. But I think that it's probably going to hold on for a little bit longer. And I am obviously, all I had on my eyes was concealer before I started with the shadow today. And that is because I did notice that I got a bit of fallout with Sweet Life yesterday. Not a big deal, but enough that I wanted to go ahead and do my face second today. So now that you guys got to see how the eyeshadow was done, why don't we hop back into that video with yesterday's Kelly? Okay, lovelies, I am so sorry about that, not pressing play. That's sort of like YouTube filming 101. You gotta press play. But I hope that just at least getting to see the eye makeup redone helps you out. I did want to let you know I went through and did my mascara. I wanted to try using like a dark brown. I feel like this keeps the look softer, springier. So I do have the ColourPop BFF mascara in Brownie Points. The only problem is, you guys know, I don't love this mascara. It just doesn't stick to lashes. I don't usually feel like. It did work out today because I went through with the Marc Jacobs Velvet Primer. So I did a coat of this just to help thicken the lashes and give this mascara something to grip to. It actually worked really well. I think I would do that in the future just to be able to use this baby up. And I'm just gonna add a little razzle dazzle to this eye look. If you guys know, part of my project pan was to use a pigment once a week at least, and I have this loose pigment in New Year's Eve. So I'm not gonna tip the pan because I've done that in the past, but you guys can see here, I think that, and this is just the pigment dry swatched, I think that this has like little tiny flecks of green and gold, and I thought it would go really pretty with this. So I'm just gonna dab a little of this on the inner corner. So I've got a little, it's actually a waterline liner brush. I'm just gonna get it wet. So I thought that this would just be a fun little addition. I definitely don't utilize my loose pigments enough, and I thought that this would be a way to get some use out of this one. I am gonna go like fairly ham here. This is pretty. I don't necessarily think it's a must-have, which I'm sure they don't even make this anymore, but I could see this one maybe not like staying in my collection just because it's just like a nice, like creamy, goldy business. It's not as like oomphy as I thought it would be. Let me go ahead and try getting this a little bit more wet, and maybe we can get a bit more impact from it. Okay, yeah, if I get it like molten wet, it does have a little bit more to it. The only problem now is now I'm trying to like blend in this like super liquidy shadow. Yeah, this is not a must-have for me. This is exactly why I'm doing this. So just so that I could know really, like, I did want to do a little declutter of my like loose pigments, but how am I supposed to do that if I haven't used them in so long that I don't even remember? Honestly, this packaging is a hot mess. Like, there is no sifter in this. It's just completely loose and it's driving me nuts. So I've got glitter everywhere and not enough payoff on the eyes to make it worth that pain in the ass moment. So you guys know that I am a true Makeup Geek fan, but this is not one of those products that I feel like I need to keep in my collection. So we will be passing this one along, and why don't we now give ourselves a little highlight that isn't in the form of like major glitter fallout. So I have this sample that I got from Sephora. This is the Say Starglow Glowy Super Gel. So I saw that they also have like a new like bounce marshmallow highlight, but I was like, oh, that one looks really interesting. But this was a free sample with a recent order. So we will go ahead and pop some of this onto our face. The smell of this reminds me of something. It doesn't have like a scent, but it has like a, I don't know, a something. This is a very, like, it came out as like a gel, but it's almost like watery. I am worried about putting this over powder products. I'm not gonna lie. Like, you know, sometimes like it just like, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like putting a really watery product over a powder, it almost like gets patchy. I don't think we're getting patchy, but we're not really getting a lot of payoff. This is definitely that like kind of like lit from within moment. If you guys can see the difference here, like you get a nice hydrated look. Like it brought some hydration feel back to my skin just after putting on like, you know, powder products, but it's not gonna give you like, like super glow. I wish that I could the smell of this. I'm trying to think of what it reminds me of. I don't know how to explain this, but something about this makes me think of travel. Like it's giving me, I don't know how to explain this, but it's giving me airplane bathroom. I don't know how to explain it, but it's just like all of a sudden it reminded me of like airplane bathrooms. Like it has that like slightly ozone-y scent. Am I making any sense? Have you guys clicked off now? I don't know how to explain this. If you did click off, you probably clicked off once you saw that I was a hot mess and forgot to actually film the dang eye look, but I don't want to put too much of this like close to my lips because airplane bathroom. I don't want to have those vibes all day. I mean, this is okay. It's pretty, but like it looks really nice on the skin. If you have any texture on your skin, I think that you would really like this if you like a very natural highlight. But this is almost like this is almost too natural for me. I think because we did powder the whole face, it gave it a little bit more glow, but if I did my normal like glowy situation, I don't think that I would see much of this at all. But I could see trying to like put this into a more matte foundation and mixing it in. I will definitely have to play around with this a little bit more. Let's go ahead and set our face. I'm gonna use this. This is the Everyday Vacay setting spray from Ciate. I actually have it in a different sprayer though, because I much prefer a different sprayer. I didn't love that sprayer, but I love the product, so that's what we're gonna use. Now for our lips. I am very excited to try this out. This is the Catrice Powerful 5 Liquid Lip Balm. I'm hoping that this could possibly be a dupe for the Rare Beauty Stay Vulnerable Glossy Lip Balms. You guys know that I got a sample of that and I really enjoyed it. I haven't picked one up yet. I do have the apricot shade in my cart currently for the VIB sale, but I thought that this sounded somewhat similar. It has hyaluron, vitamin E, shea butter, green tea, and goji berry. It just sounded like a nourishing balmy gloss, so I thought we'd give it a go. Again, this is in the shade Glossy Apricot, so let's try it on. I might end up adding a little lip liner for a little bit more definition, but I feel like for a springtime look, I just want something like very light and fresh, especially since we have a little bit more color on the eye. I just don't want to be too makeup-y, if that makes sense, with this green eyeshadow. All right, you guys. This feels very, very similar. Very similar. And I was actually just watching a video from Jamie Page, and she put the Rare Beauty Balm in like her sort of like bottom 5 that she's tried lately. And she said it's not that it's bad. She likes the feel, she likes the formula, but there isn't a lot of color payoff. And so she just felt like, you know, it's not high shine, it's not high color, it feels good, but there's nothing like wowing to it. That was honestly one of the things that I thought made it like a nice item. I'm just actually swatching this on my hand. I don't have a similar shade because the one that I have is nearly neutral, but I am going to swatch them side by side so we can see finish comparisons. You guys, I think these Catrice ones are like $6, and the Rare Beauty, I believe, are like 12 or 16. I think actually the Catrice one is a little bit shinier. So let me show you guys here. This is Glossy Apricot from Catrice, and this is Nearly Nude. Is that what it was called? Nearly Nude, Nearly Natural? Nearly Neutral. Nearly Neutral from Rare Beauty. But do you guys see the similar finish? And they do really have a similar feel. I'm just gonna like use my fingers here. Yeah, I think I've got a dupe, you guys. I am so excited. If you wanted to try this product in the big size, I think I'm honestly gonna take it out of my cart because I think that this is probably a dead-on dupe for the apricot shade, which is what I put in my cart. You guys can see it doesn't have a ton of color. They did have deeper colors in this. I did get this from Ulta. I will probably be ordering more because I do really like this, but this is, it just has such a balmy, buttery feel. It's got a little bit of shine, but it's not overly high gloss. I could certainly throw a little bit of like a lip pencil on and have more color and more definition, but I think that this is just like, a really nice, like fresh, minimalist lip, especially since we have like a brighter eye. I think for that like springtime flush, this is good. So why don't I go ahead and zoom you guys out. We can get kind of an overall finished face effect, and I'll give you my thoughts on these. All right, here we are with our springtime fresh moment. I really like this. I didn't quite know where I was going to be going with this, and I love the effect. I have to say I am very impressed with this foundation. Just checking in to see how it feels. It feels good. I will say that I feel like it oxidized a little bit deeper. It didn't get more warm, but it definitely got a little bit deeper, which for me, hopefully here, now that there's sunshine out, after this I'm going to hop outside and take advantage of this gorgeous weather, but hopefully we are going to get a little bit of sunshine and I'll be out a little bit more, so I will probably get a little bit more color to my skin. So I think I'm probably just gonna keep this shade. I can always mix it with that Sephora one that I have to lighten it up a smidge. Very happy with it. These blushes, I really like the effect of these blushes. I don't know. I'm still on the fence. I think that they turned out really pretty. This one, I actually think for sure I'm going to keep this one. The Snapdragon shade, while it's pretty, I feel like I have other shades within my collection. So I might be passing this one on to a friend just because I have so many blushes, in all honesty. And I keep leaning a little bit more into the cream products. So while I like a good powder blush, I love a good cream one. So I think I'll keep this one just because I like the sheen of it. In the springtime, it's gonna be a pretty shade to throw on. I'm loving this Pistachio palette. I'm so sorry that you guys didn't get to see it in the moment. I hope that me redoing that look was helpful. If you guys wanna see more looks from this, obviously I just used 3 shades and we have a lot more to explore within this. Definitely very excited to have this one. Thank you again, Kendi. You are a true gem. I think for me, the most exciting thing of this whole thing though was finding a dupe for that glossy balm. I'm gonna save myself some money. This feels so nice. Catrice, man, I really wanna try a little bit more Catrice. Have you guys tried much from this brand? Should I snag a few more things? Maybe we could do like a close to full face, because now I'm really intrigued. Like I saw, was it Mel Thompson just did a box swap with Teresa is Dead, and I think there was a Catrice highlighter in there that Mel ended up really liking, so now I'm more intrigued by the brand. Let me know if you guys would be interested in seeing that. Drop a comment down below letting me know, what do you think? Let me know if you're gonna try one of these balms. I highly recommend. I, of course, will update you guys in a future video on how I'm liking the foundation, how this balm wore. Obviously, I gotta go throw a mask on to be out running some errands, but oh, it feels really nice. I'm so excited. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me today. Hopefully you enjoyed getting to see my like dip into springtime makeup. Maybe you're ready to start pulling out those springtime products. Let me know if you have something that you really enjoy turning to once the weather starts to change. And like I said, let me know if you want to see more sweet shop looks. I'm really enjoying this pistachio palette. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to come spend it with me. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. I will see you really soon.